Ladies and gentlemen, let me formally welcome you to day 2 of our very important conference, the Citizens Convention, under the auspices of the Africa Center for Economic Transformation. It's been 2 years in the making, and you know that when you work at something hard enough for long, you are bound to get something right, and that is the vision of the Ghana Compact.
What are the values? What does it mean to be a Ghanaian these days? I have come to realize that this means differently for different generations. So it's necessary for us to have intergenerational dialogues.
For me, my core value, I would say, is mutual respect.
Young persons don't have patience, and why? Rightly so. We live in an era of what we call creative distraction. Every day new things come up.
When I work with people or when I relate with anybody, I try to maintain that value, honesty.
I think we should go back to our old school values where there was a lot of respect in our community, and not just amongst the elders or whatever, but the fact that you are a Ghanaian citizen afforded you a level of respect which has gone down as a result of progress.
We're jumping straight to the next sessions, which are the reporting sessions from the breakouts: private sector development, healthcare, climate governance, and the constitution, in that order.
When it comes to internet penetration, we were looking at achieving 70% in the next 5 years. And there was a great proposal for us to change it to 85%.
The goal said that there should be basic health insurance, as in 100% health insurance for every Ghanaian by 2030.
Helping farmers to adapt to climate change. We need to look at the roles that CSOs are playing when it comes to adaptation at the levels of the communities.
The goal is to create a legal framework to enable public consultations and establish oversight committees to promote citizen involvement in decision-making processes.
Article 78, 1, in terms of the separation of powers, and the general consensus was that there was it's very important to separate the executive from the legislature, and it was important, therefore, that members of parliament not be nominated from parliament.
For the Citizens Convention, it was very good because we really got to validate what we engaged on at the regional level, and this gave us the opportunity to have an overview of everything that we've been talking about from the beginning of the launch until today.
I was actually in a group for the private sector, and then what we discussed about the private sector is really going to make an impact in my life.
The Ghana I want is a Ghana I can be proud of.
We want a Ghana where the youths are being prioritized.
If I'm given the opportunity to change anything about Ghana, I'd want to change our planning processes. I'd want to see a more futuristic plan for Ghana.
So what I'm actually going to change is the education system. If we're able to change our education system, I think everything will work out.
My Ghanaian dream is to be a young person that can maximize the full potential I have.
Gender representation in governance. I think that we really need to take it much more seriously than we have been. For instance, at the IPU, the Inter-Parliamentary Union, which is the world body of parliaments, it's been decided that post-2026, parliaments that are not composed of at least 30% women will be reduced to observer status. In Ghana, this is about the best that we have had, the numbers in parliament, and yet the number is just about 14.2%. How are we going to get there? It's going to be difficult for us to get there if we keep to the present arrangement of first past the post system.
After 2 eventful years under the Ghana Compact, I'm happy to finally say that we've successfully held our Citizens Convention here on the University of Ghana campus. It's been 2 days full of a lot of inspiration, a lot of conversation and discussions around our thematic areas, and I'm glad that we've reached the point where as a country we've been able to agree on key goals and targets that we'd like our government to commit to over the next 25 years. This is just the beginning for the next phase of the compact process, where we begin to bring these conversations into the homes and mouths of the ordinary citizens and onboard people to ensure that the accountability mechanisms and all the processes that are following to ensure that our social contract reaches the right audience are followed.